You got a raise, you picked up a side hustle, maybe you're making more money than ever before, but somehow your bank account still feels empty. Why? It's not because you're bad with money, it's because wealth doesn't just vanish, it leaks. And today I'm going to show you the 5 hidden traps that quietly drain your money, your time, and your peace. Even as your income grows, once you spot them, you'll finally know how to escape the cycle of working harder but never feeling wealthier. These traps hit everyone: doctors, teachers, entrepreneurs. Doesn't matter the job, doesn't matter the income. But once you see them, you can install simple guardrails to protect your money and your life. This is enough theory, where we build wealth with a finish line, not a burnout. By the end of this video, you'll know the 5 traps. You'll also see how to avoid them with systems you can set up once and let them run automatically. Let's start with the most common trap: lifestyle creep. Here's how it usually happens. Alex gets a $10,000 raise. At first, he feels great, but instead of saving, he upgrades his car. Then he moves into a bigger apartment. Then he buys the latest gadgets. By the end of the year, his paycheck is higher, but his savings account hasn't moved an inch. That's lifestyle creep. When your income rises, but your expenses chase it until you're running in place. Think of this: goldfish grow to the size of their bowl. Your lifestyle does the same. If your bowl, which is your income, gets bigger, your lifestyle grows to fill it unless you decide otherwise. And it doesn't only happen with raises. It happens with promotions, bonuses, new jobs, side hustles, even tax refunds. Anytime more money shows up, there's temptation to spend it right away. Here's an example. Sam earns $3,000 a month. He spends 2,700 and saves 300. Then he gets promoted to $4,000 a month. Instead of saving more, he starts spending 3,700. He's still only saving 300, even though his income has jumped by $1,000. So the bigger the paycheck doesn't make him wealthier. It just made him busier, with a fancier lifestyle to maintain. That's the trap. Here's the problem: lifestyle creep feels good in the moment. It feels like progress: a new car, a nicer apartment, better restaurants. But over time, it creates financial quicksand. You're stuck at the same savings rate, even though you should be moving forward faster. So, how do you escape it? You set rules for new money before it even arrives. One simple rule is the 20 and 80 upgrade rule. Let's go back to Alex's $10,000 raise. With this rule, 20% of that raise, which is $2,000, can go towards lifestyle upgrades like nicer meals, better clothes, or travel. But the other 80%, which is $8,000, must go towards building wealth. That could mean paying off debt, stacking your emergency fund, or investing. The key is lifestyle grows, but your wealth grows faster. Another way to fight lifestyle creep is to lock in lifestyle rents. For example, if you're already paying rent on a $1,200 apartment, you don't need to jump to $1,800 just because you got a raise. Keep the $1,200 rent and funnel the difference into savings. That choice compounds over time. Here's a thought exercise. Pause for a moment and ask yourself: if I froze my lifestyle right now, how much faster could I reach my financial line? Most people don't realize how close they already are, because lifestyle creep keeps moving the finish line further and further away. So remember this: lifestyle creep is silent. It still doesn't feel like debt, it feels like success. But in reality, it's a treadmill. The fix is simple guardrails to anchor your enough lifestyle. Decide your upgrade ratio ahead of time and lock in for lifestyle wins. That way, every raise, every bonus, every new income stream pushes you forward instead of keeping you stuck. And now for trap number 2. Trap number 2 is keeping up with others. This one's dangerous because it's invisible. You don't wake up one day and decide, I'm going to spend money. I don't have to impress people I don't know. But little by little, that's exactly what happens. Let me give you an example. Sarah sees her friends posting a brand new car on Instagram. She doesn't really need a new car yet. Hers works fine, but suddenly her car feels old. Within months, she's financing something shiny and new, not because she needed it, but because she felt left behind. This is the silent power of comparison. And in today's world, it's on steroids. Every scroll through social media is a highlight reel of vacations, home remodels, and expensive dinners. What you don't see, the credit card debt, the stress, or the second job they're quietly judging. It's like watching a movie trailer without knowing the full story. You're comparing your behind the scenes to their best scenes, and it's costing you. Here's the danger: when you try to match other people's lifestyle, your definition of enough disappears. There's no finish line anymore because someone else is always ahead, and that's exhausting. So, how do you escape this trap? First, you remind yourself money isn't a scoreboard. You're not here to win some invisible contest. You're here to design a life that fits you. Second, pull up what I call a comparison filter. Anytime you feel pulled to upgrade, whether it's a car, a house, or even a phone, ask yourself, would I still want this if no one else could see it? If the answer is no, then you're not buying it for you. You're buying it for them. Third anchor, your enough number. If you know what your monthly and yearly targets are and you're hitting them, you're winning. No matter what the neighbors, coworkers, or influencers are doing. Remember, keeping up with others is a race with no finish line. The escape is to step off the track entirely and run your own race. For trap number three, this one is especially tricky. Buying a new home is often seen as the ultimate financial milestone. People think, if I can buy a bigger house, I've made it. But here's the reality: the cost of a house isn't just the mortgage, it's everything that comes with it. Bigger spaces mean higher property taxes, more furniture, higher utilities, more maintenance, and more time spent cleaning. Let's take a look at an example. Mark stretches to buy a $500,000 house instead of a $350,000 house. On paper, it's just a bigger mortgage, but once you add the higher taxes, bigger heating and cooling bills, lawn care, and constant upgrades, that $150,000 difference turns into hundreds of thousands more over time. The myth is that bigger equals better. The truth is that bigger often equals bondage. You're not free, you're tied down. Now, that doesn't mean buying a house is bad. It can be solid wealth building move, but only if you right size it to your enough lifestyle. A smaller home that's paid off faster often brings more peace than a mansion with a lifetime of payments. Here's a simple test. When you're looking at a house, don't just ask, can I afford the payment? Ask, will this house still let me reach my enough number on time? If the answer is no, it's too much house. Remember, the goal isn't to impress anyone with square footage. The goal is freedom. And a house that keeps you working for 40 years longer than you need to isn't a dream home. It's a trap. Trap 4. Trap 4 is ignoring automation. Most people lose money not because they don't earn enough, but because their system is manual. They rely on willpower to save, then try to remember to invest after paying bills, and guess what happens? Life gets in the way. Here's an example. Jenny gets paid $4,000 every 2 weeks. She tells herself she'll invest $500 after paying bills. But by the time the weekend comes, something's always pops up: a dinner, a trip, an emergency. At the end of the month, there's nothing left. This is why willpower doesn't work long term, but automation does. Automation means you pay yourself first. Your savings and investing happen automatically. The moment money lands in your account, bills and spending come after. It's like setting up bowling bumpers. Even if you throw a bad shot, meaning you overspend 1 month, you're still protected because your savings already happened. The fix is simple: automate three buckets. First, automate your investing. Second, automate your savings, like an emergency fund. And third, automate your bills. Whatever's left after that is guilt free spending money. This trap is easy to escape once you realize wealth isn't about constant discipline. It's about designing a system that works even when you're tired, busy, distracted. Automation is that system. And now, for last but not least, trap number five. The final trap is treating debt as normal. Society tells us that car loans, credit cards, and student loans are just part of life. But here's the truth: every dollar of debt is a claim on your future. It's tomorrow's money already spent. Take a car loan. You buy a $30,000 car on credit. Over 5 years, with interest, that car costs you $35,000 or more. But here's the kicker: if you had invested the same money, instead of making payments, you'd have tens of thousands of dollars growing for you instead of draining from you. Debt feels normal because everyone around you has it. But normal isn't the goal. Freedom is. Now, I'm not saying all debt is evil. A well managed mortgage can be strategic, but consumer debt, credit cards, car loans, personal loans, these are traps. They keep you paying yesterday's bills instead of building tomorrow's wealth. The fix is to flip the script. Treat debt like an emergency to get out of, not a lifestyle tool. Once you clear it, you'll realize how much faster you can build wealth without dragging a ball and a chain behind you. Because in the end, every dollar that doesn't go to debt can go towards your enough number. And that's the real finish line. So let's recap. Trap 1 is the lifestyle creep. Trap 2 is keeping up with others. Trap 3, the big house myth. Trap 4, ignoring automation. And last but not least, trap 5, treating debt as normal. Each one of these traps steals your progress quietly, without you even noticing. But once you see them, you can avoid them. And that puts you miles ahead of the average person. Remember, wealth isn't about chasing more, it's about defining enough, setting up guardrails, and building a system that moves you towards freedom without a burnout. This is the path to calm wealth, and if you start today, you'll thank yourself for decades to come.